We heard last night the first team to make an offer. You see this, you Douglas?
Who that?
The
Cincinnati?
Pittsburgh Pirates.
The Pirates.
Yeah, no one's taking that really seriously, but it was a real offer. 4 years, over $100 million. So that's the first offer to Kyle Schwarber. We'll see what the next big ones come in and how the Phillies do this. Let's hear John Heyman reporting on the Schwarber sweepstakes from down in Orlando.
Yeah, we don't have Juan Soto on the board, the free agent board right now, but we do have a guy who had 56 home runs last year. Kyle Schwarber had the best year of any of these free agent hitters, and there are a lot of good ones. Alonso, Bregman, Tucker, Bichette. It's a pretty good list, but Schwarber is the guy who seems to be getting a lot of the early action here. So I don't want to predict who's going to come first. Unless you're in the negotiation, you're not going to know the order, certainly, but certainly a lot of activity around Kyle Schwarber, a lot of interest. Certainly teams that need a hitter are going after him. The hometown Reds are involved. Obviously, the incumbent Phillies really want Schwarber back, and they're probably the favorite, but these other teams are very interested. The Red Sox interested in bringing back Schwarber. He was there briefly, if you recall. There are other teams, the Pirates, the Orioles, and the one surprise that we're now starting to hear about is the New York Mets, because we figure that Pete Alonso is the guy who makes sense for the Mets. And, obviously he's the all-time home run champion with the Mets. He's been great for that team. The fans want him back, but the Mets are also looking at Schwarber. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. You'd think that Alonso is their number one choice, but certainly Schwarber with 56 home runs, all of that.
All right, so, Heyman kind of pumping up the Mets there as a legitimate foe in this for the Phillies. I still think he's coming back. I haven't changed my mind since Friday. The Pirates getting involved certainly hasn't made me change my mind. The one thing, because I believe Matt Gelb wrote this morning that it could take with the next 2 weeks, and that kind of fits back to what Ruben Amara said, which is between Thanksgiving and Christmas. The longer this lasts, as other options for them go off the board, that would be my only concern, right? Like this plays
Taking
out
too
2
much
weeks,
time, yeah.
And then let's say one or two guys they would pivot to if they didn't get Schwarber. They're gone. Then what do we do if it goes the wrong way? But I still feel he's going to be a Philly. Hugh, you still on? He's not.
No, I think that the longer this plays out, that is exactly what happened. I was always told when I went into free agency, you want to be one of the people that sign almost immediately. Because that means you're in a position where, you're the hottest commodity, and you just get it done.
Yeah.
The longer you wait, the more you're probably going to be out of a job because teams, are already trying to set funds aside to get certain individuals. So I would think that Kyle Schwarber would be one of those guys. That's probably why the Pirates made their bid.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be quicker than some other guys. I mean, sometimes baseball free agency, as we remember with the Harper thing, it can last long into the winter. Let's hear from Ken Rosenthal on those Reds, who seem like they're the upstart here to watch out because the connection is hometown, and they are a pretty good team that wants to get better. Here is Rosenthal on the Reds' interest.
I have heard that, and I've written about it too. They're trying with him. Now, in the end, it would seem they're going to get outbid, and some people at that point might say, see, it was never real. Yeah. It is real as far as their interest, and it is real in terms of he's a guy from Middletown, Ohio, about a half hour north of Cincinnati, and he seems to be interested in them as well. But can the Reds outbid the Phillies or whoever else might be on Kyle Schwarber? That kind of remains to be seen. Now, what's the scenario for him to sign with Cincinnati? It would probably be this. Willing to take less money or deferrals, whatever the case might be, and willing to join a team that sees him as a guy who could help them grow, help their young players become a great influence on them, and at the same time want to play for Terry Francona. These are all appealing things to Schwarber, I'm sure. But this is also his last chance at a major payday, most likely, and he's going to want to cash out, which, of course, you would understand. So I don't see it happening, but I do I know the Reds actually want to make this happen. It's just a question in the end of whether they can make it go their way.
All the things he said about the Reds, I think, are real, right? Like they're an upstart team, the hometown thing, playing for Terry Francona, who's probably considered the best manager the last 20 years or so in baseball, one of the top 2 or 3. That's all real. But the end, what he said there, like, are the Phillies really going to let themselves get outbid by the Cincinnati Reds? I can't see that.
You know what? He said something else that was really profound to me is the fact that you want him to usher in the younger guys. And that, to me, resonates more than anything else. The money is huge. Let's be honest. Whatever he gets, he's going to be okay.
He's going
to be okay. So it's up to him what means more to him. That to me sounds more like legacy than anything. The fact, and I'm just putting together the timeline here. The fact that they rolled his pops out to throw out the pitch to him in Cincinnati. The fact that they're a younger team, and not only that, look what he meant to this team when he was here, as far as being a leader. So he might be feeling nostalgia. I don't know, but it feels like it might come down to they might not have the money. But for nostalgia purposes, he might go to Cincinnati.
Well, then it's up to the Phillies to not make the money close, right? I mean, I think what you're saying has some merit, and he's from there.
Kyle, I could tell.
I know
Kyle
Kyle's
didn't like that.
So,
I'm actually like more comfortable than I've ever been.
But
is that right?
Yeah, Schwarber's going to be here, and I'm going to win that bet.
Oh, was it $4? You guys have $4 on
I
it?
think it was.
And I'm going to sleep really well at night. No,
man.
Well, it's up to the Phillies to not make it close, right?
Yeah.
Like if nostalgia's part of it, or the Terry Frank, if it's all real, right? Like, and he's interested in the Reds, then they need to make this a $30 million difference. Not like, well, 5. Make it so he can't say no.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
Like
that's a lot of money.
If he goes to the, I'm gonna put it this way: if he goes to the Reds, I blame the Phillies. The Phillies let him go to the Reds.
And from everything we hear, the Phillies desperately want him back.
Yeah. So then they're going to.
So I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. Now the Mets thing is different. If the Mets get serious, they have more money. I mean, like, what are we going to do about that? So that we could lose that. But if it's Phillies, Reds, and again, forget the Pirates for a second.
I'm checking the Pirates and the Reds off. They're out.
I've checked the Pirates
Officially.
off. The Reds, it's up to the Phillies to knock
Reds
them
are
out.
officially out. Permanently.
Okay, one other thing with the Phils, that's kind of off the beat, but it will become one. Well, I actually got 2 things off the beat. Let's hold the thing about Bryce Harper for a second, because that was like, well, I never saw that before. Hugh, I thought we got some good news last night for the Phillies and a future Philly making the Hall of Fame, or past Philly making the Hall of Fame in the future. Mm-hmm. So Chase Utley's percentage of Hall of Fame votes has gone up the last couple seasons to where when I look at his trajectory, I think he's on track to make the Hall of Fame at some point in the next few years. I don't know if that's next year or 3 years from now, but I think he's going to make it. And last night they did one of those, they changed the name, the Golden Committee, the Veterans Committee. It's like when the old guys come together and they kind of reconsider players that didn't make it in the past, and they vote again. So Bonds was up for this, and Clemens was up for this, and Carlos Delgado, and Don Mattingly. And last night the committee elected Jeff Kent. Jeff Kent is now a Hall of Famer. He's going to be inducted in July. Mm-hmm. Jeff Kent was good. He was a really good player. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I wouldn't have voted for him, but he made it, and so now he's a Hall of Famer. But the reason I bring that up is I think it's really good news for Chase Utley's candidacy. Chase Utley has a far higher WAR. He has more stolen bases. He has a better on-base percentage. They both had the same amount of silver sluggers. Utley made more All-Star games. I think Utley was the better player than Jeff Kent. So if Jeff Kent's in the Hall of Fame and you're hoping that Chase Utley makes the Hall of Fame one day, I think last night was a good night for Chase Utley making the Hall of Fame. So we have Schwarber. With the news on that, I think Utley's chance to make the Hall of Fame went up last night. We also had whatever the heck the Bryce Harper thing was. Did you see this thing, Hugh?
I saw it this morning.
What did you think of his...
I tried to grasp it.
Was it like a blood spinning thing? What is he doing?
It from what I understand is, I forgot, it was like it was an EBO or something, oboe?
Let me make sure we have the right wording.
EBOO, I think.
EBOO.
Have you ever heard of this?
No, but...
So if you missed it, there's a picture Bryce put out there. He is, how do you describe it? He's like in a lounging chair. There's what I think a doctor behind him. He's hooked up to all this medical equipment. He's smiling. And it sounds like the idea of this is some sort of...
blood cleanser?
Yeah, it's a procedure in which 1/3 of your blood is drawn from your body, passed through a filtration device, and then returned to your bloodstream. I guess it circulates your blood, exposes the blood to ozone, and will oxygenate or filter the blood before returning to you. What is the purpose of this?
You talking about?
I don't know. I've never done that.
Okay.
It sounds, for my ignorance about this, when you're talking about oxygenating your body, sounds like blood doping a little bit. You know how when...
Is this good?
Well, it's funny because it sounds similar to what like cyclists used to do the night before a race, where they would take the blood out, and I forgot the exact procedure.
Yeah. But
then they would put it back, and it adds more oxygen to your body to make your muscles work harder. I don't know if it's the same thing, but but when you say it in that realm, it kind of sounds like similar. I don't know, though. I don't want to recklessly speculate about what Bryce is doing, but that just sounds like a lot of blood being taken out to wash and put right back in your body.
Sounds like to me something rich people do to think they're healthier. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it works. I mean, I hope it does. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Is he gonna hit more home runs next year?
No.
I think,
Phillies might have just been officially eliminated from the playoffs.
and I think, and to be honest,
Between that and the
feel,
bunny, it was quite a week to log in and see what the hell's going on around here.
I feel like that's Bryce Harper's way of trying to endear himself to the fan base too.
I think
Endear himself with blood spinning?
I don't know if it's. I don't think it's
Hit the
that deep.
ball
I
over
think
the
he's
wall.
just an odd guy.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, yeah.
Drinking raw milk. Like, I don't know.
What was it a couple years ago when he was celebrating in the clubhouse after one of their playoff things? He had all those like suction cup things.
He's a
on,
weird dude.
Which I think he was. I forget what that was
said he's a
for.
weird dude.
There was a medical reason why he did
I'm
that, like
sure.
to help himself heal or whatever.
The cupping.
Cupping. Remember we saw that. We
Yeah,
saw
when
him.
you
We
put
had
the
a
heat in the thing
Yeah.
on your back, that's big now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, Aaron Rodgers doesn't go visit witch doctors in Egypt to endear himself to the fan base. I think he's just like that.
Yeah, I think
And
Bryce.
I think I liken it to that.
Bryce strikes me as the kind of guy who thinks he could beat age by doing all
Yes.
these kind of things.
Yep.
And look, if he's going to be here a long time, I hope he does beat age and he produces into his late 30s and early 40s. If he's here that long. But I did see it, and I'm like, what are we doing?
I think Bryce is trying to endear himself to the fan base. By
I don't think that's how it's done.
bringing
Yeah,
him
no,
bringing you behind the curtain a little bit.
You know what endears people to Bryce Harper?
Winning game.
Big hits in big moments.
Yeah.
Go beat the Dodgers.
Yeah,
That'll do it.
I don't think it has anything to do with fans.
Did you feel? Do you like Bryce Harper more today?
No.
I don't either.
I find it.
I mean, but
I had the
let's-
same feeling I did yesterday. He's a tremendous
But
player.
let's look at the social media space now, shall we? I mean, he was out there making banana smoothies.
That didn't help me like him
Couple
more.
weeks ago.
I didn't like him
I
anymore.
mean, but it allowed. Has a more of a social media presence, and he does have the Snickerdoodle protein.
no one
powder.
cares about that.
He's a
that-
weirdo.
Still waiting for it to go on
But
sale.
if you poll our whole audience, do you care about any of this crap, or do you
No.
care if he hits 35 home runs and drives in
some
110?
people, but to be honest, some people do. His social media presence is probably what he's been working on. That's why he wrote out the no, seriously. All jokes
I know,
aside,
but I think it's a very small portion.
All jokes aside,
Very small
That's
people
why
care
he
about
wrote
that.
it out. That's why he wrote it out, because he's trying to get more social media engagement.
May I give him advice?
What's that?
That's not really most fans. Most fans don't care about the starter pack, the blood spinning, the raw milk, or any of this stuff. Just go out and hit. I mean, you hit and play well, he'll continue to be loved. That's
Totally agree.